It was about 1,000 years ago. Yes. He was a wealthy man and he was married to a beautiful and pious lady. And for many years they longed for a child, but this child never came. Now, out the front of the house where they lived was a beautiful juniper tree. And one particular winter's day, the wife, I should say, was standing under the juniper tree, cutting an apple with a knife. And she slipped, and she cut her hand, and drops of blood fell into the snow. And she looked into the snow, and she thought, oh, how I would wish for a child as white as snow and with cheeks as red as blood. She felt quite good now. She didn't feel so melancholic as she had been feeling. And she went back inside. A month passed and the snow began to melt. Another month passed and green shoots appeared. Flowers started to appear. Buds on the trees. Yes, the juniper tree was in bud too. And as the months went by, the wife started to feel very unsettled once again. Berries started to appear on the juniper tree. The days grew warmer. And yet, she didn't feel well. And by the 7th month, she went to her husband and she said, if I should die, I want you to bury me under the juniper tree. Another 2 months passed, and she gave birth to a baby boy, with skin as white as snow and cheeks as red as blood. She was absolutely delighted, and then she died. The husband kept his word, and he buried his wife under the juniper tree. And he was sad. Obviously he was sad. And he cried and he wept and he wept and he cried. And then he was okay. And he sought another wife. And with this new wife, they had a daughter. Her name was Marlene. Now, true Grimm tradition. The stepmother to the boy was cruel and wicked. She did not like this little boy at all because he was first in line to inherit the wealth of her husband. And that wealth belonged to her daughter, Marlene. So every day she thought of a way to get rid of the boy. When the father was there, she pretended to love the child. Now she did, of course, give great love to her daughter, Marlene, but when the father's back was turned or away on business, she mistreated that young boy and constantly scolded him. One particular day, Marlene returned home from school and saw her mother eating an apple. Mother, I want an apple. All right, my child, come with me. And she had this big chest, a huge chest. And in that chest were apples, beautiful red, ripe apples. She opened up the heavy lid of the chest. She reached inside, she picked up an apple, and she gave it to Marlene. Thank you, Mother. Can I have one for my brother too? Your brother? Give me that apple. She put it back in the chest. She looked out the window and she saw the young boy returning home from school too. You can't have an apple until your brother gets one first. Send him to me. And so Marlene went downstairs and said, Mother wants to see you. She wants to give you an apple. Oh, an apple. Lovely, said the young boy. And he bounced up the stairs, up to the room where his mother was. Mother, you look so ferocious. Can I have an apple, please? Come here, my boy. Come here. Come here. She lifted up the lid. She opened it up. There you go. Reach inside. Go on. No, get that one at the bottom. Yes, there we go. No, lean in. Lean in. And she slammed the lid of the chest down. This is a Grimm story. Because the young boy's head came off and landed into the apples. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. Well, what should I do? What should I do? She went to her room and she found a silk scarf. And she came back and she picked up the boy and the head and she put the body on a chair and she put the boy's head on top of his neck, balanced it up against the wall, wrapped the scarf around his neck and then opened his hand and put an apple inside. Yes, that should be okay. She grabbed another apple and she went downstairs, eating the apple. Mother, said Marlene, Mother, where's my apple? Well, go and ask your brother for an apple. He's got an apple. So Marlene went bouncing up the stairs. Brother, give me the apple. Mother says you must give me the apple. There was no reply. Obviously there was no reply. Marlene went back downstairs. She was upset. Mother, brother is looking very pale and he's very quiet and he won't give me the apple. Marlene, if your brother is not going to give you the apple, then box him on the ear. Now go and ask him again. So Marlene went back up the stairs. Her mother said I can box him. Yes. Oh. She went upstairs. Brother, Mother says you must give me the apple now. Silence. So Marlene boxed her brother on the ear. It was a little bit louder than that. And so Marlene boxed her brother on the ear. The head was on the floor. Mother! Mother! The mother came upstairs. Marlene! Marlene, what have you done? What have you done? You've knocked your brother's head onto the floor. What are we going to tell your father? But Mother, I just wanted the apple. Marlene, we can't tell this to anybody. Understand? This is between you and me. Nobody must know that you have killed your brother. Oh, Mother. Marlene wept. And she wept and she wept. She couldn't stop crying. The mother said, stop crying, let's solve this problem. It didn't help. Marlene carried on crying. The mother took the boy and took his head to the kitchen. And she got a big knife and a big pot. A big pot. For she chopped up the little boy into pieces and put him in the pot on the stove and made a stew. A nice, yummy stew. It was about the time the father returned. And, oh, what is that wonderful smell? Where is my son? Where is my boy? Where is my boy? Oh, yes. He's gone to visit his great uncle, your wife's uncle, and he said he will be gone for 5 days. What? He didn't even say goodbye. In those days, a child goes off for 5 days at a young age, doesn't say goodbye to their father, goodness me. Well, okay, but let's eat. I'm hungry. So they sat down at the table. And Marlene carried on crying. Don't worry, my daughter. Your brother will be back. No need to be so sad. Look at me, I'm not sad. I'm certainly upset he didn't say goodbye, but he will be back. Don't you worry. The mother poured out a nice big bowl of stew and put it in front of her husband. And he ate. And he ate. Oh, this is delicious. This is all mine. I don't want any of you. I'm going to eat this all because I am hungry and I am, after all, the man of this house. This stew is just for me. And he ate and he ate and he ate. And as he got the bones, he threw the bones onto the floor under his feet. And when he was finished, he went and retired. Marlene ran off and found a piece of silk and picked up all the bones, wrapped them all up, and took them out and placed them under the juniper tree. The tears were still running down her cheeks. And as she placed it down, there was a bright flash of light. And from inside the juniper tree, an opening appeared. And from that opening came a little bird. And the bird flew out and landed on the branch. And then it flew off. Marlene felt as though her brother was still alive, and she stopped crying. She went inside. Now that little blue bird flew to where the goldsmith lived and landed in a tree quite close to the open window where the goldsmith was making a fine gold necklace. And the bird began to sing. My mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me. My sister Marlene made sure to see. She gathered my bones secretly, bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. What a beautiful bird am I, tweet, tweet. What a beautiful song, said the goldsmith. Wow, bird, sing that song again for me, please. Not until you give me something. I would like that necklace. Very well. And so the goldsmith handed the bird the gold necklace, and the bird took it and held it in its right claw. My mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me. My sister Marlene made sure to see. She gathered my bones secretly, bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. Tweet, tweet, what a beautiful bird am I. And the bird took off and flew off with this gold chain in its right claw. And it landed by a tree by an open window where the shoemaker lived. And it started to sing. My mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me. My sister Marlene made sure to see. She gathered my bones secretly, bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. Tweet, tweet, what a beautiful bird am I. What a beautiful song, said the shoemaker. Family, family, come here, come here. And they all came to the window. Listen to the song. Bird, bird, sing that song again. Not until you give me something. Fine, I've got these beautiful red shoes. Here, have these red shoes. And so the bird took the red shoes and held the pair of red shoes in its left claw. My mother, she killed me. My father, he ate me. My sister Marlene made sure to see. My bones were gathered secretly, bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. Tweet, tweet, what a beautiful bird am I. And the bird took off, carrying the gold necklace in its right claw and the pair of red shoes in its left claw. And it flew down to the mill. And there were millers busy working at a new millstone. My mother, she killed me. One of the millers stopped and looked up. My father, he ate me. Another miller stopped and looked up. My sister Marlene, another miller stopped and looked. Made sure to see my bones were gathered secretly. And the millers all slowly but surely stopped what they were doing and listened to the bird. Bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. The final miller stopped and looked. Tweet, tweet, what a beautiful bird am I. Oh, bird, what a magnificent song. Sing it again. No, said the bird, not until you give me something. Give me that millstone. And so the 10 millers got a large pole, and it took them all their strength to lift up the millstone. And the bird flew down and put the millstone around its neck, flew up and landed in a branch of a tree, and sang the song. My mother, she killed me, my father, he ate me, my sister Marlene, made sure to see my bones were gathered secretly, bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. Tweet, tweet, what a beautiful bird am I. And the bird flew off. Gold necklace in its right claw, a pair of red shoes in its left claw, and a big, heavy millstone around its neck. It returned back to the home of the juniper tree, and it landed in the branch. Now inside the house, the father and Marlene were distraught. They were sad. And the mother, well, she was not happy. There was something that she felt that the devil was inside of her. She couldn't breathe. She was feeling very tense. She didn't know what to do. And then suddenly, there was the sound. My mother, she killed me. What is that? My father, he ate me. Even Marlene stopped crying. What is that? My sister Marlene made sure to see my bones were gathered secretly, bound nicely in silk, as neat as can be, and placed beneath the juniper tree. Tweet, tweet, what a beautiful bird am I. Marlene ran outside to go and see what this beautiful sound was. And she came back and she said, look what I've got. I've got these beautiful red shoes. The bird gave me red shoes. And the father went out to go and find out what exactly was happening. And the bird dropped the gold necklace and it slipped right over his neck. And it fell absolutely perfectly. And he came inside and he said, wife, look what the bird has given me, this beautiful gold necklace. I feel so happy. And now the mother, she couldn't breathe. She was ripping at her bodice. I need air! I gotta get out! I gotta get out! And she ran outside and the bird dropped the millstone. Well, that was the end of the wicked stepmother. There was suddenly a bright flash of light. And when the father and Marlene came outside, there, standing before them, was the young boy. The young boy with skin as white as snow and cheeks as red as blood. The father and Marlene were delighted. They went and they grabbed the hand of the young boy and they went inside. And they ate. And that is what you are about to do now.